In this video, we'll take a look at using Max for Live devices to interact with DDC scripts. We've given you some powerful and relatively easy to use tools that allow for some very interesting possibilities. Both of the Max for Live devices that I'll be showing you are available from the repository. The first device that I'm going to show you demonstrates how a Max for Live device can take ownership of the controls used in a DDC script. This allows you to very easily use controls directly in a Max for Live device without having to do any mini-mapping, which opens up some interesting possibilities because it allows you to control anything in a Max for Live device, including aspects or parameters that you wouldn't want to automate or expose to the mini-mapping system. Right now, all my controls are assigned to EQ8. This menu here allows you to select which control or group of controls that you want to take ownership of. As you can see, it lists all of the controls available in a DDC script. So you've got 32 encoders, 32 buttons, and the accessory controls. For now, I'll select my first encoder. And again, this is controlling an EQ8 parameter. But if I grab it, now the Max for Live device takes ownership of that control. So it no longer controls EQ8, and instead, the value is being fed into a message box. Of course, that isn't very useful. It's just meant for demonstration, but you can basically use this value in any way you like within your Max for Live device. So it's very, very useful. If I click release, this will release ownership back to the DDC script so I can control EQ8 again. Alright, so to recap, we can grab the control so we can use it in Max for Live, and then we can release it back to the DDC script when we're done with it. And we can do this for any of the individual controls. We can also do it for an entire group of controls. So for example, I'll select encoders here, and now I'll be able to grab all the encoders at once. You'll see something different in the message box now. The first value is the value the control sends. The next value is the index of the control within the group. So my first encoder will be index 0, second will be index 1, all the way up to index 15, because I have 16 encoders with this controller. The next device demonstrates how to utilize the properties that DDC scripts make available. So here we've got a floating window that allows you to view various properties. You can see the index and name of the current page, the name of the current track, the name and value of the parameter that the first encoder is controlling, the name and value of the parameter that the first button is controlling, and a list of the devices that are currently being controlled. This can be used for creating on-screen displays that show the parameters that your controls are assigned to, and it also allows you to extend the functionality of DDC scripts. For example, since you can access the parameters that encoders are assigned to, you can set up reset and randomize functionality for the parameters being controlled. Both of these devices use relatively standard and easy to understand patching, as well as documentation where necessary, and both include reusable components that you can use in your own devices.